Okay, good morning, everybody. We're just waiting for Phil Stringer, our guest, to jump on. We've had a couple of false starts here, but it's okay. Holly, what's going on down there? I see you. Nice to see you.
Hello, my
Hi.
worldwide traveler friend.
Yeah, we will be in Cabo soon. Can't
I'm
wait.
not going to Cabo this year. I am
You're not?
not. No, I'm very sad, but
Oh,
I just couldn't. I'm going to Barcelona or Montreal, Barcelona.
oh, you are.
Are
Fantastic.
you?
Me too.
No, I'm not.
Good.
But
Yeah.
hi, Phil.
Hey guys, how are you?
We're good. How are you?
I'm amazing. So happy to be here. So excited to be back. It's been a while since I've been with you, I think.
It's almost a year since you've been on this call because you're so busy.
It has
And
been insane. It's been
I
crazy.
I just want to say to everybody, we're so proud of you. You're,
Uh,
out there as one of the most influential speakers of AI coming up in 2025. You are traveling the world. Every one of your visions is coming true, correct? Are
you are
we
so sweet. Yes, thank you so much for that. That's the encouragement and everything. You've been amazing. I'm actually in North Carolina all week, which is great because I get to be home for a little bit. My next trip is Saudi Arabia though, so it's a long one. Yeah,
when are you going to Saudi Arabia?
not this Friday, but next.
Wow. And what are you doing there? And how did you get to go there?
It's great. Like the connections are just insane. The Prince of Saudi Arabia. I am a guest of the Prince.
Phil
Oh,
Stringer.
yep. There's a huge tech conference there, and yeah, it's crazy. I was like, okay.
Shut the front
Yep.
door
Yep.
from the guy who was sleeping in his car
The guy who was sleeping in his car.
3 years ago, 2.5 years ago,
Yep. Yep.
penniless.
Crazy, right?
No, yes, it's crazy. However, it's amazing. It's so was that on your vision board?
No, that was not on my 2025 bingo card, okay? I had
And
no idea.
so how did he hear about you?
Through my coach. So I have a coach who is a top 50 keynote speaker in America. She's crazy. She's amazing. But she's been telling different people like, hey, this guy actually knows his stuff. And there's a lot of need for AI. And I think AI has been kind of really, really flooded with a lot of people who think that they know, but maybe they don't.
Mm-hmm.
So people are looking for some quality AI speakers, and yeah, it's crazy. I can't even believe it.
Well, we're so proud of you and happy for you. And I will never forget sitting in the audience when you asked everybody to take their cameras, shut them off, put them
Mm.
down, pay attention, don't repeat the story until I'm ready to release it. And you came out and were vulnerable and shared, what you're going through with your ex-wife, fighting for your kids, homeless, everything. And you said that that was not going to stop you and that you were going to be on stage. And at that point, how many stages did you want to be on? Like,
I was my goal, and this was the goal that my friend said, look, write something down that you don't even think is possible. Write down a massive goal. And my goal was to be on 10 different stages, do 10 different events in the entire year. And I did that year, I did over 100 live events and many more virtual. So it was just absolutely insane.
unbelievable. Well, I am so blessed and honored to call you my friend. I'm thrilled that you take this community under your wing and show up for us. And okay, I explained to everybody that you're going to have something special and we're going to post it in the Wake Up Wednesday chat for those who are members of it. And we can, tell people how to get on. But in any ways, I just want you to take it away and the stage is all yours.
I love it. I'm gonna do, I think probably maybe most people in this room have seen me do some type of presentation before.
Yes.
Um, and so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do something different from what I normally do. This is much more hands-on, but it's a training that I believe will be the most practical and the most helpful for you to start implementing today for your business. Okay.
Okay,
It's easy enough for anyone of any age to do. It doesn't matter if you're 5 years old or 95 years old, you can get this. And so what I'm going to do is, instead of like run you through a presentation or talk about the theory of AI, I am going to basically share my screen and show you 3 different ways that you can train Chat GPT to sound like you with writing. So you can so it doesn't sound like a robot, it doesn't sound like Chat GPT, it sounds like how you would actually write.
okay,
We can train Chat GPT on your speaking so that you can get video scripts if you wish for short form content scripts, long form content, but it doesn't sound like Chat GPT speaking. It actually sounds like you talk, because we all talk differently, right? And then I'm going to also show you the easy way to train it on your business. Now, when we train Chat GPT, we do this in a very specific way. And I think 95% of people don't really understand how to train it, or even how training it works. And so, what I'm going to start off with, before I do the screen share thing, I want to just tell you guys, and this will be the most important thing. So if you're sleepy, wake up, get your coffee, perk up, because if you understand the next 5 minutes of what I'm about to say, then it will lay the foundation for everything that I'm going to say in the next 45. Okay. So, very basics. Before we go into training ChatGPT, we have to understand how ChatGPT is trained and how ChatGPT actually gives us a response. Okay. So, what most people don't realize, they just put something into ChatGPT, they hit enter, and they get this magical response, but they don't really know what's going on in the back end, how it happens, and how it actually calculates a response for them. And I'm going to break it down to where it's not technical, so everyone's going to get it. But once you understand how it actually gives you a response, you will then be able to know exactly how to train it, because you're going to understand under the hood what's happening when you type something in and you hit enter. Okay. So ChatGPT is a large language model. So if you've seen LLM anywhere, that's what it's referring to, is a tool like ChatGPT that is trained on a bunch of different things, where you can type something and you can have a conversation with it. It's like a bot, and it gives you text input, text output. With ChatGPT now, you can upload images, so you can also do images. It can also create images, so image input, image output. And now they just released something called Sora, Sora, which you put in a prompt and it gives you a short video. It actually can create a video for you. Right now, it's only 5 to 10 seconds. Later on, they'll be releasing models that will give you 15, 20 seconds. But you can just type in anything you can think up, and it will create a video of that thing. So like a dog running into the ocean and, fetching a ball or whatever, and it'll create that video. So now we have text input, text output. We have image input, image output, and now we have text to video. So we have all 3 of those different things that ChatGPT, OpenAI as the company, can give us. Now, when we put in a prompt, which is the text that we put in and then we hit enter, right, to get a response. When we put in a prompt, this is how it gives us a response. And if you're taking notes, you definitely want these 3 things, because Chat GPT and large language models, there are several, by the way. You've probably seen Gemini, you've probably seen Claude, you've probably seen something called Perplexity. There are many different large language models like Chat GPT. And what it's doing is it's a software that gives you a response based on everything it's been trained on. Okay. So when you put in a prompt to Chat GPT and you hit enter, it references 3 different things to give you a response. And again, if you're taking notes, jot down these 3. First off, it is going to reference the massive amount of data that it has been trained on. So it's referencing its own internal data. Now, Chat GPT, these large language models, have been trained on trillions of data points. So they have loaded in pages from the web. They have loaded in journals. They have loaded in articles, blog posts, full books. Basically, what they've done is they've loaded this brain with trillions of data points of human literature. So this could be threads online from Reddit. This could be web pages. This could be blogs. This could be, all the books that they could possibly load in there, right? And what it does is, instead of loading in that information and training it on what is true and false, it did not do that. ChatGPT knows no truth. It doesn't know what's true and false. Because if you did that and you loaded it in with all of those different books, you're going to get conflicting answers, and it's not going to know what's true. So instead of loading it in with all the knowledge to say this is true and this is false, it didn't do that. It loaded it in with all of that knowledge to say, here's how words are structured in the human language. Here is how this word generally follows this word in this application or during this topic. And it analyzed every single word of this human literature to not understand truth and what's false, but to understand human communication and how we put our words together. That's it. It predicts what word should come next. ChatGPT does not know truth and what's false. It only can predict language. That's it. Okay? So that's number one. Number two, the second thing that it references before it gives you a response is it references the prompt that you put in. So it's garbage in, garbage out here. Okay? The more simple the prompt, the more simple your answer. The more detailed your prompt, the more detailed your answer. And so that's why prompts really do matter, because if you can figure out how to ask it the question, then you've won. You don't need to know how to write blogs. You don't need to know how to write emails. You don't need to know how to be a video creator, for scripts. You don't have to be good at any of these things. What you have to be good at, and the skill that you should really focus on moving forward, is how to ask the question. If you can figure out how to ask the question of what you want, because sometimes it's hard. Sometimes we're like, hey, write me this marketing email, and we really don't know how to communicate what we want.
Mhm.
If you can figure out how to communicate what you want, then you've won with AI. Okay? So the skill that we want to focus on here is how to ask the right questions and how to prompt correctly. Okay? Garbage in, garbage out with prompts. The more detailed the prompt, the more detailed your response. And then the third and final thing that ChatGPT references before it gives you a response is the prior chat history. It is going to reference everything you talked about in that prior chat when it gives you a response. So here's how everything works. Now that we know the three, you type in a prompt, you hit enter. It references its large data set of everything it's been trained on, all that human literature. It references your prompt, and then it references everything you've been talking about in that chat, and it calculates all three of those variables, and it gives you one word, just one word. And then it recalculates all three things again. And it says, okay, large data set, the prompt you put in, the prior chat history, based on my knowledge, what would the second word be based on this first word in human literature? And it gives you the second word. And then it recalculates those three things again to say, what should the third word be based on the first two words? And it does that every single word. All it is a language predictor. It doesn't know what truth is. It's just predicting what word should come next based on all of its training. And so to give you an idea of how powerful this is and why this thing blew up a couple years ago and this tool is so crazy for people is because there are 175 billion with a B calculations per word that it spits out to give you. So that's why I could copy and paste a prompt in, and Dee could copy and paste a prompt in, the same prompt I'm using. And we're going to get different results because there's so many different variables. Now, why is this important to know? Why is this, the foundation of everything? Well, now you know more than 95% of other people on how you get a response. Most people are just like, I don't know, you just hit enter and it just tells you stuff, right? It's this magic thing. So why is this important to know? Because if it's going to reference the prior chat history before it tells me what I'm wanting, then that means I can train it, I can load it with data, I can prime it, I can prep it with certain things on purpose before I get what I want. So for an example, instead of just going in and saying, hey, write me a blog about current interest rates, I could load in a market report and it will analyze that market report. And before it gives me a response, it's listening to that whole prior chat history and it's reviewing that whole prior chat history. So I could literally say whatever I want about my market, current interest rates, the current housing market in my zip code, whatever I want. And then I could write the blog, and then I could create the short form video. And it's going to use all that data that I put in to give me those responses. Does that make sense? Is there any questions on that? Because that's so foundational before I go into actually how to train it now. Are there any questions? Is that helpful? Does that clear it up for some people?
How do you
That's
load in a market report?
Yes, you can load in a market report. I'll go ahead and share my screen now so that you can see. You can either copy and paste it in, or probably the easiest way to do is when you're on Chat GPT. So this is my Chat GPT. There's this little paperclip thing where you can attach files. So I can click on this and just browse from my computer, and I can upload a PDF, I can upload a document, whatever I want, and it scans that to learn everything in that document before it gives you a response. Okay, so that's how you would do that. All right, are you guys ready? Are there any questions on that before I jump into there's 3 different ways to train Chat GPT. The first 2 ways you can do with the free account. It's not the best, but it's definitely doable. The third way that I'm going to go through is the very best way, but you have to have the paid account to do it. Okay. So I'm going to share with you 3 different ways because some people on this call probably don't have the paid account. And I want to show you what your options are without the paid account to train Chat GPT. So before I jump into that, any questions on what we've done? Are we clear before I go into that next portion?
I think you're good to go.
Awesome. Okay. So here's what I'm going to do. I am going to, let's see here. I'm going to share screen and I'm going to pull up. So first off, obviously this is ChatGPT. You can go to chatgpt.com. If you don't have an account, create an account. You can do it for free. And I'm going to show you 2 ways that are free ways. Okay. So you don't have to pay for anything. You can use the free account. So we want to train ChatGPT. I would say that the foundational 3 ways you should train it first before you do anything else crazy. You should train it on your business. Okay. You should train it on your writing voice. And then you should train it on your speaking voice. Okay. Those are the 3 ways that I would train it. Now, if you have followed me at all, we have a free PDF that we give that has 10 of our favorite tools outside of ChatGPT and 10 of my favorite prompts that I have written that you can just copy and paste. So if you don't have that, or if you just need a refresher, you're not sure where you put it, if you've been to any of my events before, this is what you want to do. Let's go to philstringer.com. Okay. philstringer.com, and you're going to see I have a couple different options, which, by the way, I am doing a webinar tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern where I'm going to go through the framework of exactly how I do my presentations. And it's the same presentation framework that I did when I made $267,000 in 1 hour on one webinar. I'm doing this on Thursday at 3 p.m. It will probably be sold out today because I just announced it yesterday and it sold out last time in 24 hours. If you guys are interested in this, it is a $47 webinar. It's the best training I've ever done. 100% worth it. If you guys want to do that, you can click here to save your spot. But what I want to show you today is I want to show you this right here, which is 10 Chat GPT prompts to increase revenue, efficiency, and productivity. You click on this. I'm pretty sure I probably have this downloaded somewhere in here. Yeah, I've got it right here. All right, this is what it looks like. Okay. And I'm giving you 10 tools that I like that you guys can start implementing. It has a little hyperlink where you can click to the tool. I'm not going to go through tools today. This is what I want you to focus on. This section says prompts, and it's the very first prompt right here. This is the most important. So this is training Chat GPT to fully understand your business and goals. And I'm going to show you the exact process on how to train it for your business. And then I'm going to show you the exact process of how to train it for your writing voice and your speaking voice as well. But we're going to start with this. What you'll do is you'll take this PDF and you'll just copy this prompt here. I'm going to read it to you. It says, prepare to generate content for me in future prompts. Before we proceed, I want you to fully comprehend my business, customers, target audience, and goals. Base your future responses on my provided answers that I will give to you. I want you to fully understand my objectives for creating content. To achieve this, ask me at least 25 questions about my business, customers, target audience, vision, goals, and any other necessary details to complete the upcoming tasks to the best of your ability. Your understanding is crucial for optimal results. Do you see what we're doing here? We're actually telling ChatGPT, hey, you know what you need to know to give me the very best content. I want you to interview me about my business so that you have all the info you need. Because again, if I can find out how to ask the question the right way, then I've won. And asking the question here is not just dumping in random info about my business and hoping that it's good for what ChatGPT needs. It's literally saying, you know the 25 most important things that you need to know. I'll answer the questions, you interview me, and then because it references the prior chat history, it's going to pull from my business data when it gives me my responses. So I'm going to show you how to do this. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to switch back over to Chat GPT. I'm going to paste this in, and I'm going to hit enter. That's all I'm doing. I'm just copying that prompt from the PDF, and I'm pasting it into Chat GPT. Now watch what it does. All right, it says, got it. I'm going to ask you 25 plus questions to fully understand your business, audience, and goals so I can create content that aligns with your vision. Answer in as much detail as possible so I can tailor everything to your needs. Here's what it does. It's asking me 25 things about my business, about my customers and audience, about my vision and goals. All right, now I said at least 25, so it's probably going to give me some bonus ones. Here's content and branding, right? Now, you don't have to answer every single question. I think that's the one roadblock that I hear from people when I train them how to do this. Everyone's like, that's amazing. Then they sit down and answer the question. They realize, oh, this is going to take me 30 minutes to an hour to answer, and they don't do it. This is the best 30 minutes to an hour that you will ever spend probably in your entire month, because if you do it, you are going to get amazing content specific to your business, and you're going to absolutely crush your competition because you'll be able to create really good content if you do this. So this is so important. So what I would recommend you do, I just want you to copy the 25. This gave me 30 questions. I want you to open up a notepad, whatever it is that you use. You might use Apple Notes, you might use Google Docs, whatever you use. I'm going to go ahead. Let's just say, I don't know, I'll open up a Google Doc just for kicks and giggles here. All right. Google Doc, and I'm going to paste in the questions. All right. So this is how it should look for you, whether this is a notepad or whatever. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go right here and I'm going to go to the first question. I'm going to hit enter and I'm just going to answer the question. You know, what are the main products or services you offer? So I could go in here and I could say, you know, we have an academy, an AI academy, right? And I could even give it the prices if I wanted to. You know, for our AI academy, it's $5,999. You know, and I could say we have one-on-one coaching. I could put in, you know, one-on-one AI coaching, and I could say, you know, it's $2,000 a month. And the more detail I give it, the better. But like, I could leave it at that, or I could say, you know, weekly calls, just to kind of give it more info. And I can just list out my products, my services, whatnot, and I can do that. Now, if you're a real estate agent, obviously you're going to list out, you know, what your service is, what the different services are in your listing presentation, how much you charge, whatnot. All right. What specific problems do you solve? Answer all of these questions. Now, again, if you're tripped up and you don't know how to answer something, you have a couple different options. One, you can just ignore it and not answer it, because even you giving it something is better than nothing, right? So answer the ones that you know how to answer or that you're comfortable with. You don't have to write paragraphs. You don't have to write even multiple sentences. You can write one sentence, right? It doesn't have to be crazy. If you know that it would be helpful to answer a question, but you don't really know what problem you solve, you can ask Chat GPT and be like, hey, I don't really know how to answer this question here. Will you help me answer it? Use Chat GPT to help you answer these questions. And if Chat GPT's response sounds good, paste it in. Okay? So don't get overwhelmed with this and don't feel like you've got to spend hours on this thing. This is just giving it a framework for what you do. It doesn't know that you're a real estate agent. It doesn't know what market you're in. It doesn't know if you focus on first-time home buyers or veterans, or it has no clue. So this is just giving it general information. It's like, you know, let me look on the call here real quick. So it's like if I were talking to Ann, and Ann hired me, Ann Collins hired me to create all her content for her. And she just literally right now just said, okay, Phil, write me a blog about my business. That's what we're doing with ChatGPT. I know nothing about Ann's business. Now, because she has Scottsdale AZ on her name, I'm assuming she's in Scottsdale market. Okay? But that's all I have to go off of right now. And so it's so important. If Ann were to hire me as her content person, she would have to tell me who she serves, how long she's been in business, what market she's in, what her price point is, all of these different things, so that I could then create content for her target audience. If she just hired me and didn't tell me anything but her name is Ann, I'd be like, shoot, am I writing a real estate blog? Am I writing something for a bakery? I don't know what she does, right? And so it's the same thing with ChatGPT. We have to train them like we just hired them as an employee. Okay. All right. So once we have done that, I'll go back to my Google Doc. Once we have answered all these questions, and again, don't go crazy. If there are things you don't want to answer, don't answer. I want you to copy all of the questions and answers again that you filled in, right? We're just going to pretend I did the whole thing because we don't have time to sit here and watch me answer 30 questions. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to go back into Chat GPT, and all I'm going to do is just say, here are the answers to your questions. Okay. And then I paste in the whole thing. See? All the questions, all the answers. When I hit enter on this, Chat GPT is now trained on all of my stuff. Now, I'm going to show you, even if I were just to answer one question, right? I didn't give it anything but 2 of my products. I said I do an AI Academy for $6,000 and I do one-on-one AI coaching for $2,000 a month, weekly calls. I didn't give it any context. I'm just going to pretend. You know, that's all I gave it. It's like, it looks like you started answering but didn't complete. I need more details, right? Here's what I still need from you. And it's going to tell me, all right, now it gives me this. Why'd you choose this pricing model? Okay. So you can do that, and it's going to say, look, I have information now, but I'm going to need more from you. Okay. That's if you completely ignore it. But even if you were to answer some and just delete the rest, it gives it at least some type of context for creating content. Okay. All right. Now, because Chat GPT, remember how I said it references everything in this prior chat history? All of this stuff up here, when I say down here, write me a, I don't know, let's say 150 word Facebook status promoting my one-on-one AI coaching. Oh, I did a little explanation, but it's still going to know. It's smart enough to know that I made a mistake. All right, check this out. Want to 10x your business with AI without the overwhelm. And again, all this is trained on is me saying one-on-one AI coaching, 2,000 a month, weekly call. That's it. Like, obviously it's going to be way better when I actually give it detail. But most people are wasting time trying to figure out AI on their own. The truth, AI isn't just a nice to have anymore. It's a cheat code for scaling faster, working smarter, and closing more deals. My one-on-one AI coaching gives you a custom AI strategy for your business. No fluff, no generic advice, just weekly calls plus hands-on guidance. See, it has the weekly calls because it knows. All right.
Mhm.
Now, it purposefully didn't put the price in here because if you threw in, hey, it's $2,000 a month, it's smart enough to know that's not a good marketing strategy. It says to DM me, and then we can see if it's a fit. Well, on that call, then I'll tell them how expensive it is. Okay. But what I'm trying to show you is even with me just giving one little line, $2,000 a month, weekly calls, that's all I gave it. I didn't give it any details. It knows that it's weekly calls. Why does it know that? Because before it gives me a response, it reads everything up here first. So because it went through this, it knows weekly calls. That's why it's so important to answer these questions, because if you write a blog or if you write anything at all, it analyzes your answers from your business first before it gives you the response down here for your content. Okay. So this is way number one that you can use with a free account. Now, here's the cool thing. If you start a conversation, a new one, it will not remember what's in that old conversation. It's not going to reference that before it gives you a response. You have to go, and this is a limitation of the freeway. You have to go back to this old conversation, which is on the left-hand side. What I would recommend you do, because it automatically names it, business content strategy inquiry. I'm never going to remember to look for that. So what I would recommend you do is click this little 3-dot thing, hit rename, and name it whatever the name of your business is. So like my AI company is called Stratus Global. I'm going to name it Stratus Global so that I know anytime I want information or content created for my AI company, I go to this right here. Because when I go to this and I continue the conversation, it has to reference everything in the prior chat history, again, my answers and my questions, before it gives me a response. So then I can continue this conversation and I could say, all right, now make me a YouTube video script. And it's going to know about my offerings, my product, my service, my market, everything. Okay. This is good, but there's also another limitation. Obviously, you can search for chats up here. So if you wanted to search for a chat, you could search for Stratus Global. Right? So that way, if it's all the way down, because this shows you your most recent chats, if it's all the way down, you don't want to scroll and you're like, man, I haven't used it in months, you could just go up here and type in Stratus Global. It's going to pop up so that you can continue this conversation. That is one limitation of doing it this way, because obviously you have to find the conversation. It's not the best way to do it. The second limitation with this, and 99% of people don't even know this, they just think that it has infinite memory. There is what's called a context window in every chat. This context window keeps getting larger as Chat GPT releases new models. But what a context window is it's basically the amount of text or data that Chat GPT can remember in a conversation. The length currently is 128,000 tokens. They don't go by words or characters. It's by tokens, which is very confusing. But in simple terms, 128,000 tokens is anywhere from 150 to 200 pages of a book worth of text. Why do I say that? Because as I'm creating content and as I'm doing all of this, once I get to 150 to 200 pages of stuff, it will start to forget all of this stuff up here because its brain isn't infinite. It is only 150 to 200 most recent pages. So as it gets older and longer, it's going to start forgetting my answers. So what do? Well, if you're doing this free version where you're using this conversation, like I told you, you save this Google Doc. I would save it as Stratus Global so that you can reference it and copy it again every once in a while, paste it back in here and refresh it. And then you're good for another 150 to 200 pages. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Okay. Obviously, it's not ideal. It's not the perfect situation because one, you have to find your conversation and you have to continue the conversation. Two, it's going to forget stuff up here after a while. So you have to keep reminding it every once in a while. However, that is a way to do it. And that's the number one way. And that's to do it with the free account. That is your option. Now, there is a second option, and this is also using a free account. I think, well, let's just do this. I'm going to pretend that I answered all these questions. Okay, so let's just pretend that it knows about my AI company, which it doesn't really. But what I could do is I could say, just to give it more info, search the web for Phil Stringer and philstringer.com to get info on his AI business, right? Because I didn't answer all the questions, but I want it to have more context than just my two products. Okay, so here we go. Phil Stringer is an AI efficiency coach and international speaker who helps professionals integrate AI into their business, boost revenue, range of services. Here's the academy. Okay. Here's the one-on-one coaching. Here's my consulting services. Been recognized across various platforms, Fox, CBS, NBC, Good Morning America. All right. So this is giving me some information where it knows a little bit more about my business. But what I'm going to do next is I'm going to show you the second way to do this. And this will work for some people and it won't work for others, but you get to decide. If you say, Phil, I do not want to have to keep reminding it every 150 to 200 pages. That does not work for me. I will forget. Or if you say, Phil, I don't want to have to find the conversation. I just want every single new conversation that I start, I want it to know about my business. There is a way to do that with the free account. There is also a limitation with this that I will show you, but it is possible. Here's what we're going to do. So in my conversation where I have trained it, I answered the 25 questions. We're going to pretend that I gave it the 25 questions and answers, right? Because this would be a lot better if I gave it more detail. I just don't have time to do that while you're sitting here watching me. But we're going to pretend that I did that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to say, give me a summary of my business. Let's say in 1,500 characters or less. And then I'm just going to put in here, I'm going to use this to train you on my business in the custom instructions. You don't have to say it exactly like that. You could literally just say, give me a summary of my business in 1,500 characters or less. But here's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to show you, and this will make sense in a second, so bear with me. All right. Let's see what it comes up with. All right. Phil Stringer is an AI efficiency coach. You know, it's saying this information. Flagship program is the Academy, which is $6,000, on-demand video modules, 500 plus prompts to help clients. You know, it's telling me about my product, the one-on-one coaching with the price, and then it gives me some of this stuff, right? Obviously, if I had answered the 25 questions, it'd be way better, but this at least gives me a summary of what I do. I take this summary, I copy it, and then in the top right-hand corner right here, you have something called Customize Chat GPT right here. You click on Customize Chat GPT, and you have a couple different options. So first off, what should Chat GPT call you? You can do that if you're like, hey, call me Phil, right?
Mhm.
What do? You could say, I'm a real estate agent. And then here it says, what traits should Chat GPT have? Right? You can tell it how to respond to you. I have very specific in here, keep everything below a 6th grade reading level, like things like that I want for my marketing. Okay. Down here is where we're going to put our information. And this is anything else Chat GPT should know about you. You are limited to 1,500 characters here. That's why I said to write me a summary 1,500 characters or less. So I just go here, I paste that in, and you'll see there's a button right here that says enable for new chats. If this is on and you hit save, what we have done is this 1,500 characters becomes a 4th variable that Chat GPT will check before giving you a response. Remember I said there were 3? This turns it into a 4th. So not only is it going to look at its data set that it's been trained on, it's going to look at your prompt, it's going to look at the prior chat history, but it's going to look at this always in every single new chat. And you're going to have this 1,500 character summary about your business that it references every single time, even if you make a new chat. Why would this be a bad thing to do? Well, if you run more than one business. So for an example, if I also baked cupcakes at Stringer Bakery, I don't want to have all my AI business stuff in there when I go and I start creating content for my bakery. So what I tell people is if you have the free account and you're not paying for ChatGPT and you have multiple businesses, you really need to make a conversation for your AI business and then answer the 25 questions for your bakery, your cupcake thing, and then name it Stringer Bakery, and go to Stratus Global when you want to create content for AI, and go to Stringer Bakery when you want to create content for your cupcakes. Because if you put the AI stuff in this right here, if I put that in the custom instructions and then I go create a bakery, it's going to get confused thinking that I'm doing AI stuff. So only do this if you're only working with one business. But that's a way to bypass the whole, hey, I've got to go over here and find the conversation. Hey, it's going to forget after 150, 200 pages because this never forgets these 1,500 characters. So you are limited in that it's not as detailed, right? 1,500 characters is not as detailed as the 25 questions, but it at least gives you that ability to choose. Do I want option 1 where I'm doing it through conversations and then I just have to remind it every 150 to 200 pages? Or do I want option 2 where I never have to remind it, it's always there, but I can't do multiple businesses, and the knowledge is only 1,500 characters rather than 25 questions, right? So those are options. You can see how there are pros and there are cons to each. Are you guys ready for the very best option? Option number 3. This is my favorite option. You have to pay for Chat GPT Plus, which is $20 a month, in order to take advantage of this option, but this is by far the best option because you don't have to worry about any of those roadblocks. And that option is you can create a bot that is loaded with all of your info on your business, on your speaking style, on your writing style, whatever it is. You can create a bot that never forgets that information. It's like having this 4th variable as this massive brain that you can load files into. You can load text questions into. You can load all of this information into this bot. And here's the beautiful thing. Watch this. Any conversation you're in, I can hit the @ symbol and I can start typing the name of my bot. And it is going to recall the different bots that I have created. Stratus Global Business Bot. When I click on that, this is now the 4th variable, and it has an entire brain of all the documents, all the data from my business. It knows all of my offerings, all of my, here's my target audience, here's how I like to do this, because I've loaded it with files and information, and my 25 questions and answers is loaded in here. So I could literally then say, create me a marketing email. I want to promote my AI Academy. And we're going to do a discount. We're going to give 20% off for anyone who joins this week, right? It knows my products. It knows my services. It knows my pricing. It knows exactly how I like to market. And this bot, I can pull in and out of any conversation at any time. It never forgets the information. and it's specific to my business. So then I could create a cupcake bot, right? If I don't want it engaged anymore, I hit the X button and the brain is gone. Now it's back to 3 variables. So you have to have a paid account in order to create new bots. That's why I say this option requires the $20 a month thing. If you do not have the paid account, you can use bots that other people have created for you. So for an example, I actually offer a service where I build business bots, I build speaking bots, writing bots, I build them all for you. So you don't have to pay for Chat GPT to use those bots. You just have to pay for it to create your own. So the way that you would create your own is you go over here to explore GPTs, and up here you have this white button that says create. And then this is where you can create and configure a bot, load it with files, right? You can make your own bot, name it whatever you want. And this is the process of building a bot. And it's not that hard to do, okay? So what I would recommend you do is I would recommend you create a bot for your business like I have, right? So I have, if I go into my GPTs, you'll see that I have my Stratus Global Business Bot. I have Phil's speaking style, and I also have Phil's writing style, okay? Which I told you should make all 3 of these, right? Here's the great thing. I could go into any type of, like I did this this rant. I said I'm going to create this random conversation that has nothing to do with business. I think I was talking about a breed of dog. Yeah, write me a 500-word blog about the dog breed Vizslas. Beautiful hunting dog, and it wrote me this thing. Now, what I could do is I could call in my Phil's writing bot. Now, if I wanted to do a video about Vizslas, I could do Phil's speaking style, which let's do that because you guys know how I speak probably better than I write. Now I could say, write me a 30-second Instagram reel about this. I'm not giving any other context because what I want to show you is I can go into any previous conversation and it adds my speaking style in to where my script is going to sound exactly like Phil, not like ChatGPT, not like a bot. And it's going to use all this information here so it knows I'm talking about Vizslas. So watch this, because it's using the brain of Phil's speaking style. 30-second Instagram reel on Vizslas, the ultimate Velcro dog. All right. Thinking about getting a Vizsla? Here's what you need to know. These dogs are fast. Originally bred as Hungarian hunting dogs, they've got energy for days. Like you can already hear how this sounds like Phil. They're called Velcro dogs for a reason. If you don't like a shadow following you 24/7, this might not be the breed for you. They need exercise, lots of it. Daily runs, hikes, or playtime is a must to keep them happy. Good news, I say that all the time, they're low maintenance. The short, sleek coat is super easy to care for. I say things like super easy, right? So it's taken my speaking style and it's actually created me now this script like Phil would say it so I don't sound like ChatGPT. So I know you might be thinking, okay, how do I do this? Very simple, very easy. Let me see if I had this open. In my documents, here we go, Phil's speaking style. All I did, guys, is I pulled in an old webinar. I just took the transcription, and it can be 1 page. It doesn't have to be 22 pages, okay? I pulled in the transcription from anything I've ever done. You could pull this from a podcast. You could pull this from a video. You could pull this from anything. Just take the transcription, and it doesn't have to be long, and I just pasted it in. This is how I talk because this is me talking. I mean, this is literally from a webinar, right? Just a random webinar that I did. I named it Phil Stringer speaking style. And then when I created the bot, I said, hey, here's this, this document. I want you to match all of our scripts to Phil's speaking style. And then I loaded the document in so it has training data on my speaking style. So now every time I pull this speaking style bot in, I get Phil's talking. I do the exact same thing with Phil's writing style because how we talk is different than how we write. And so what I did is I've got down here somewhere, I think I have Phil's marketing emails. Let's see. I know it's somewhere. I got too many documents. Oh, here, Phil's marketing emails. I just loaded it in with a few of my favorite emails that I've written. Only 2 of them. It's not much. I named it Phil's marketing emails. I loaded into a brain, and now if I were to pull in Phil's writing style, it's going to write me in a marketing email about Vishwas. I mean, I don't know, right? And it's going to write it exactly like my framework for writing because it knows how I write. And here you go. And it's going to write it like Phil Stringer. So the best way to do this, if you pay for Chat GPT again, is to explore GPTs, create 3 different bots. Create one, load it in with your business info. Create another, load it in with your writing style. Create another, load it in with your speaking style. Now, if that's overwhelming to you and you don't want to do it, you can still do the other ways. It's just super, super easy to, at any conversation, pull in any of your bots. It never forgets the information. It's trained on everything. This is the best way to do it. Now, if it's overwhelming for you, I do have a service where we do this for you. Okay. So if you guys are interested, I'll put in the chat the link in a second, but we offer 2 different packages for this. And it has helped so many clients because they're like, it's just done for me. I don't even have to pay for the Chat GPT Plus because I can use it. But this is, I think it's philstringer.com. I need to spell my name right. philstringer.com/chatgpt. Super simple link. But this shows you the custom trained options that we have. So we have 2 different options here. The first one, it's $397, and me and my team will craft and create an entire business bot for you. So what you get is we jump on a Zoom one-on-one with you, and we do a business discovery session. We figure out everything about your business. Okay. Then we train a Chat GPT bot specifically for your business. You get that in your account. You can pull it in, use it whenever you want. And we do that for $397. Done. Easy. This premium package, you get a lot with this one. Now it's $797, but what you're getting, you get that same business discovery session that you get up here. You get that same custom trained GPT for your business that you get up here, but here's what you get in addition to it. You get a personalized, unique value proposition. We actually take you through and get you clear on exactly what makes you different from your competitors, the other real estate agents in your market. And we craft you a UVP, which is so important to know exactly what your unique value proposition is and what makes you different. And then we create 2 more bots for you. We give you your writing bot, and we give you a speaking bot, and we give you a 50+ page custom marketing blueprint. This costs me $250 to create. We give that for free in this. So if you're wanting everything, you're like, dude, I want you to do the business discovery session. I want you to give me a business bot. I want a speaking bot and a writing bot. I want my own UVP, and I want a 50-page custom marketing blueprint based on all my business information. That's where you'll want to do the $797. If you're like, hey, I just want one business bot to use for my business, the $397 is your option. But this way, it's just done for you. You don't have to worry about it. You don't have to figure it out. It's literally done and created for you, and our team will build it custom for you. So hopefully that's helpful. Hopefully this session has been helpful, and you've been able to get some nuggets through this. I know my cutoff time was 10, so I'm going to go ahead and open it up to Peggy, maybe some Q&A, and see if that's helpful.
Okay, again, as always, mind blowing. I've been looking at the chat. Phil, I don't know how you did this. It's unbelievable, the value that you bring to us. You guys, do you have a few more minutes, Phil? What are you?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, guys, you want to open it up? Do you have questions? We have a lot of people on this call.
I do. I do.
Okay, Don.
Hey, Phil. Good
Hey,
to
John,
see
how are
you. Yeah, I'm doing great. Thanks. Good to see you. You're awesome. So I was curious on the ChatGPT, right next to the addition of what you were building in the paid version, there's the My GPTs, right? And so creating, and I think you had some, but I'm not sure if you did. Is it my understanding that those GPTs do not keep the memory, do not they're not ongoing, if you will? I mean, I know I programmed them.
Good question. Yeah, good question. So there's 2 different things. The GPT is trained with whatever data you put in.
Okay.
Right? So I'm going to put in for my writing bot, I'm going to put in my writing style, and I'm going to load it in. It'll never forget that. So it's in the brain. whatever, and I can pull it in and out of any conversation. But it's not going to remember all the conversations. Like when I have a conversation with Phil's writing bot, it's not going to pull that into the memory, because what it's doing is it's allowing you to have an external brain that you can pull in and out of any conversations at any time.
Okay.
It's still going to reference the prior chat history when you pull it into that chat. So like with my dog breed, the Vizsla thing, I just said, hey, here's my speaking style. Write me a YouTube thing or an Instagram thing. And it still referenced the prior chat history because it knew we were talking about Vizslas. But once I use Phil's speaking thing again, it's not going to be loaded with all the Vizsla stuff, right? I can just pull that brain in and out of any conversation I want and use it at any time. Does that make sense?
It does. So I've been programming, I'm fun with Ricky the Recruiter, and I've got all these different personas, right, that I've built. So I just wanted to see if that was the best way, or if I'm better off having one giant brain and doing what you just showed us.
It works better if you use individual brains for individual tasks and projects.
Okay.
So for example, I trained one bot just on the proper way to write a hook for a video. And it's my hook bot. And when I'm in the conversation, I'm creating my YouTube video. I'll say, okay, now I pull in the hook bot. I say, write me a hook based on the knowledge of this bot. It's been trained on exactly what to do for hooks.
Yeah,
And
awesome.
it works better if I were just to throw all that hook information and then throw all, video script information all into one thing. It'll still do well. I've just noticed if you take it down to just one specific job, it does so much better.
Okay. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
You got it. I think
Brad, you had your hand up. Yeah.
Here we go. Hey, Faggy.
Hey, Brad.
Hey, Faggy. Hey, Phil. Thanks so much for this. Fantastic. I was actually on one of your training classes last week or the week before. It's awesome. Thank you so much.
Cool.
My question is, okay, so I've done some market update videos. Let me back up. I did the 25 questions. I helped prime it. So I've got that information already put into my Chat GPT. I've done some market update videos, which were super boring. Like I went back and watched them. I'm like, this is late. Like nobody's gonna watch this. So I asked Chat GPT, okay, how can I make these better? And it doesn't really know because it can't watch the video. It says, can you enter the transcript? I don't know how to get the transcript. And if you have any other suggestions on how to get Chat GPT to help with that kind of stuff, I would love.
Is this a YouTube? Where's the video? Is it YouTube?
It's on YouTube, yeah.
Okay, perfect. So I'm going to show you guys something that will help a lot if you're wanting to pull information from YouTube, and then we'll get to Pam's question. First off, I'm going to show you two different ways. Chrome Web Store. If you're using Chrome, you have the ability to add extensions, and there's one called GLASP. It's GLASP, and it looks like this. And it doesn't say anything about YouTube, which is kind of confusing because it just says web highlighter, PDF and web highlight. But here's what it does. If I were to pull up a YouTube video of any random YouTube video, okay, so faceless video, I don't even know. But on the right-hand side, I've got this GLASP thing where it says transcript and summary. I can click on this on any YouTube video, and it gives me the full transcript of the whole video that I can copy, okay, with timestamps. This button right here copies the whole thing. So I could do that, and then I could go into Chat GPT. I'd be like, give me a bullet point summary. Now you can ask it anything of this YouTube video. I'm going to paste in the transcript. I'm going to hit enter, and then it's going to run through this entire video, right? And it's going to give me information. Now, here's a really cool thing, and I've never taught this in any of my classes, but I'm obsessed with this tool, so this is a little bonus. There's a thing called Notebook LM. Notebook LM is by Google. Okay? Notebook LM, you can paste in a link of a YouTube video. Let me show you. You can drag in a Google Doc, Google Slides, a website, a YouTube video, or copied text. Okay? When it does this, so I dropped in a YouTube video, 10 insane AI automation use cases for 2025. I do a lot of research, right? When you do this, you can create a study guide, a briefing doc about the video, frequently asked questions, or a timeline. You can also do an audio overview for those of you who like podcasts, and it creates a podcast style conversation of two AI people talking and teaching you about everything in the video. Watch this. And it's a 20-minute audio that's completely AI generated that teaches me everything in this video. And this video was 50 minutes long. I'm much more better when I'm driving and listening. So then I use this as an audio podcast. Pretty cool, right?
Okay, Phil, so I can take 100 Wake Up Wednesdays that are on YouTube, drop them in here.
Yep.
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 In fact, let's do it right. Let's do it right now. Send me a link to any Wake Up Wednesday call, and I'm going to do it right now while we're talking.
I don't know how to do that. You're talking to the.
Okay, so if I were to go to YouTube,
It's
if
Wake
I
Up
type
Wednesday on YouTube is what it's
Wake Up Wednesday
on YouTube.
I'm gonna put Peggy. All right, let's see. Let's see what we got. Let me see if I get. I don't know if I have any of the videos that I.
They just were all uploaded.
Yeah, it's not pulling them up for me. I would
Okay.
have to have a link.
All
but-
right. Give me a second. Keep going. Go on to something else.
Well, let me tell you guys, before we get to Pam, I feel so sorry for Pam. I just want to say one more thing. This is completely off topic, but it's probably the best thing that I've ever done with AI for real estate agents. And I only announced this once. So you guys are getting this brand new. And then we're going to go to Pam's question. This is a tool that is free right now. It costs me money every time it's run, but this is the most incredible tool. Probably the best thing that I've done for real estate. And I'm going to show you exactly what it is. It's buyerprediction.com. What this does is you put in two different things. All you have to do is put in the property address right here. And then you put in the price point of what you would sell it for. It creates a buyer persona of who is most likely to purchase that home based on historical data and AI algorithms. Why
That's
is this,
cool.
Yeah. Why is this so important? Guys, we have secured hundreds of listings, $1 million listings by using this. I just had a guy the other day text me. He said, I'm a brand new agent, was going against 5 of our best top agents in the market. Didn't think I would even be close because it's a $2.9 million listing presentation. He said they picked me because of your tool. So here's what you do. You put in the address. I'm just going to put in a random address. Put in the city, state, and zip. Say what you would list the home for. You hit submit. That's all you have to do. It creates demographics, psychographics, shopping behaviors. It literally searches through the database to figure out who is most likely to purchase the home. And again, why does this matter? Because you take this information and you give this to your client at the listing presentation. You say, oh, by the way, I have this information here of who is most likely to purchase your home. So other agents just throw their marketing out to random people, but I know exactly the concerns, the motivations of the person who's most likely to buy your home. And this is where I'm targeting my marketing. Guys, we have made agents just in our beta testing. I haven't even released this as a product yet. Hundreds of thousands of dollars in commissions just from this tool.
Close your mouth, Peggy. Close your mouth.
And so this is buyerprediction.com.
That's crazy. I just texted you a link for mine, and I know we got to talk to Pam. That
okay. So
right there is unbelievable.
We should definitely go to Pam. While Pam is talking, I'm going to take this link and I'm going to create your Wake Up Wednesday into a podcast in a few seconds. Okay.
And actually, this won't take very long. You might have already even hit on it, but can you run multiple bots in the single conversation with Chat GPT? Like if I want to create video content, but I want it true to my business brand, can I have it run through both of those bots?
Yeah, that's a great question. So what you're able to do is you're able to engage one bot at a time in the conversation, but you can start a conversation in Phil's business bot and pull in a bot into that bot. So technically you can use up to 2. But if I went back to my Vishla conversation, I would only be able to pull in 1 because the original conversation was just a normal conversation. So I could pull in Phil's business bot and be like, hey, give me a summary of Phil's business. It's going to write it out. Then it's going to remember because it references all of that data. Then I could pull in Phil's speaking bot and be like, okay, now create me a blog about Vishla's in the structure of my business with my products in Phil's writing style. And that's how you would do it.
Okay, perfect.
What you're also able to do is you can go to your actual bot. So this is Phil's writing style where I'm starting a conversation with this bot and I can pull in other bots into this bot. So now I've got the brain of Phil's writing style and I'm pulling in my business bot. So you can do up to 2 this way if you start the conversation there. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you.
Okay, now.
Hey, Phil, real quickly, while you're doing all that stuff, you at the beginning you talked about you were also going to show us how to do the voice thing, and I know we're way over on time, so that may or may not be possible. But you were going to show us how to incorporate it for our voice. I don't know. I thought you meant our speaking voice, our actual voice.
So the speaking voice one, that's where you just take a transcript of anything you've ever spoken. It could be an audio file. It could be a video that you've done, a podcast. It doesn't matter. And that's where I put it in the Google Doc. I put a webinar that I had done, and then you train it. You load that information in and say Phil's speaking bot. So the way that I write emails is different than how I talk on a webinar presentation, right? So that's why I have a writing bot and a speaking bot. Yeah.
Got it. Thank you.
All right. So with this Wake Up Wednesday thing that I threw into Notebook LM, let's see here. Okay. So I just created a quick briefing doc.
Okay.
And this is the summary of your call. So it gives me the date.
Yeah.
It gives me all the sources. And then it says the summary of what happened. Okay. The power of desire. Desire versus goals. Overcoming limiting beliefs. Mindset and abundance. And it's giving me all this information of this call. Real life examples and experiences. All right. So now you've got a briefing of all the different things and a conclusion of what happened in that brief. And then all I did was I hit audio overview, and this is creating the podcast that is going to talk about everything you spoke about in this call. And it takes maybe 3 to 4 minutes to do, so it's probably almost done. So we'll see if we have any other questions, and if not, we'll jump back to this and see how it goes.
Where did the data come from for the buyer prediction tool?
Yeah, so that's a tool that I have been working on with my development team for about a year. And so we pull historical data from the web, we scrape sales data, and then we also use AI algorithms through OpenAI's brain. And so OpenAI has been trained on all this data as well. And so that tool is more of a, hey, based on historical data and based on AI predictions, this is the type of human who is most likely to buy your home. And it's crazy how accurate it can get. Now, we're not saying that it's going to be a 45-year-old male who makes $200,000 a year and his name's John, like, obviously. But what impresses the client so much is that you even have any type of tool that could do that, because no other agent is doing it.
Right.
Like, other agents are like, yeah, I made this image, you know, on with AI. And they're like, cool. How is that going to help me sell my home? You know?
Is the data nationwide, Phil? I mean, your
Yes.
tools are great. I appreciate it. And I signed up for Thursday, but is it nationwide sources of data?
Yep.
Right.
Nationwide
So
source.
much.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I'm getting texts every day from people like, what the heck? I just secured this $1 million listing. Like it's seriously a tool because no one else is doing it. And right now I have it for free. Like every time the report is run, it costs me money, but I wanted to give this tool for free for our agents right now, just to get them used to the tool and to see if it helps. Because I want to see if it actually works before I'm like, okay, now I will tell you guys, I haven't told anyone this. I am going to charge for it soon. It is free right now, but I want to make it so affordable that every agent won't even think about it. It's a game changer and I could charge more, but I would rather have it help more agents and not charge a lot. It's going to be $29 a month for unlimited uses. Like nothing. I'm so excited because I think it's going to help like any agent, right?
So are you keeping that exclusive for EXP?
Right now it is, but yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. Shall we keep it exclusive just for Peggy? How about that?
Peggy's gonna be back selling in California before you know it.
Uh,
Cool.
any other
Okay.
questions?
Anybody else?
About the Wake Up Wednesday, Phil, what do you mean? How'd you get the content together like that? I was lost a little bit.
For me creating what I was creating for Wake Up Wednesday, you mean?
Mm-hmm.
Peggy just sent me a YouTube video and I just pasted in the YouTube link. That's all
Oh,
I did.
okay, I see.
And it literally scrapes the video to pull all the information from that video. I didn't have to do anything.
So we're
Wow.
creating a library and it's almost done of every single Wake Up Wednesday that we've done. And it's going to be on a YouTube channel. So you can go back and get the recordings.
Hey,
So
Phil,
now-
what was the, oh, sorry, Peggy.
Go ahead. What was your
What
question?
was the Chrome link that you had?
Yeah,
So-
that is a Chrome extension and it's called, I'll put it in the chat. It's called GLASP, GLASP.
Which one do you like better, the glass or this notebook?
Oops. So GLASP just takes the transcription of YouTube. It creates a transcription of a YouTube video. This notebook thing takes the video, you just paste in the link, and it can create you an audio podcast. It can create you, you know, the summary that I just showed you. So I think Notebook LM is really easy to use, and yeah.
Okay, perfect. Okay, guys.
Wow.
Hey, Phil, I just wanted to say hi. It's good to see you.
What's going on, Bennett? How are you, man?
I'm doing pretty good.
Wow, how's Texas?
Oh, it's fine. I'm still a dinosaur, though.
I love it. Good to see you, man.
That's a limited belief.
Don't affirm that, Bennett. Don't affirm that.
Yeah, don't say that, Bennett. All
Yeah.
right. So
You're learning and getting younger.
you're on this call, right?
I am.
So Phil, can you send that to me later for
Yeah,
guys? Because I'm sure it's still running through.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, it looks like it's still generating the conversation.
Okay.
Probably almost done, but I can send it to you later, and then you can have it.
I think
Phil,
this is so cool.
Hey, Phil, I'm working on something right now, and I actually put in the prompts almost before this call started, and it's talking to me saying, "I'm developing this thing. It's going to be awesome for you." And I'm like, "Where is it?" And I keep asking, "Are you still there?" And it's like, "I'm still working on it. It's going to be amazing when I'm done." It's just comical to watch this thing interact and how human it feels.
Yep, I know it.
I love it. I think this was an amazing call again. For those of you going to Cabo, Phil, you'll be there.
I will be in Cabo.
All right. And we'll hear about your trip and your adventures. And that is on my bucket list, by the way, to go. And I just did my finished my vision board. And right here in the corner, it's so funny. You guys probably can't see this, but right here, I've got the little Emirates logo that I'm flying there.
There you go.
Definitely. So I don't know, maybe I was channeling you when I did this.
Yeah, I love that. Love it. That's amazing.
All right. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I gotta run. Everybody else is
Thank you,
amazing.
Bill.
Great turnout. Thanks, Phil.
Appreciate you guys.
Great stuff. Thanks, Peggy.
You're welcome. I'll talk to you later.
Great
Thanks,
meeting you
everybody.
Yeah,
Bye,
Bill,
guys.
thank you. Thank you,
Thank
Peggy.
you.
so much.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Yes.
Bye. Okay, and this.